Hi everyone, it's Judy Heaney at Balance Pilates and Yoga Studio in Cape May, New Jersey, and today we are exploring downward facing dog. I get a lot of questions about this from my students. How far apart should my hands be? Why do my wrists hurt? Why am I sliding? Etc., etc. So we're going to explore this right now and kind of bust through all those questions. So come down onto all fours and then release back into child's pose. Extend your arms out overhead, and from this space, you should be able to come up to all fours, downward facing dog, and your plank. That should be a pretty decent gauge for all of those. You might need to move a little bit, tweak it a little bit, but that's a nice gauge for hand placement and foot placement. When you come into downward facing dog, first we'll look at the hands, right? So usually I find that people slap their hands on the ground, lock their arms out, and they're here a lot of times. But what we want for dog is to ignite the arch of the palm and really be into the fingers to spread and distribute the weight through the whole hand. So if you come up to your finger pads and then slide down to that first knuckle, second knuckle, ring of the palm, and have soft elbows, you can feel the wrists or the heel of the hand where the wrist is light and more weight distributed, and the center of your hand kind of lifting up and igniting so that the weight goes into all 10 fingers and is distributed that way. And then you can lift from there up through the arms and feel the shoulders into the back, and then etc., etc. So if we start here and we press to lift the knees and we shift the weight back, there should not be a big crease in your wrist. This is not dog. This is like compressive for your wrist. And then the opposite of this, as we travel up the arms, the shoulder placement is important. So we don't want to shove the chest towards the thighs, as you might hear in some classes and cues. This is one of the cues I was told how to teach, but doesn't really serve its purpose because it doesn't really build strength. And if you're really flexible in your shoulders, you can drop really deeply into your shoulders and kind of tweak them. So we're not really building strength if we're there like that. So if you're really flexible in your shoulders, then you could go a little too far and you're not really building strength. Ideally, your shoulders should be not super lifted by your ears and not shoved down deep into your back pockets. There should be some play in here somewhere in the middle so that when you're upside down, your head can relax and you feel the shoulders integrated into your back, but not in a sort of like jammy, tightening kind of way or shortening kind of way, like a way that your muscles are ignited to work as best they can. So we have the hands spread wide, all 10 fingers pressing into the floor. We press the lift up and then we shift away from the hands. So all 10 fingers pressed down and we're reaching through the sitting bones at the bottom of the pelvis. We're not straightening the arms and dumping the chest, nor are we shoving the shoulders way back in the pockets and dumping into the wrist. We're kind of in the middle with the elbows soft and the shoulders integrated, and then the head can relax down. Now we don't want to let the belly just kind of spill towards the thighs and kind of lose that strength that's lifting from the hands. So the belly draws in, and you can even feel this little wave from sit bones to the crown of the head come into play. So the shoulders are integrated here and the belly is ignited. And then we can work on lengthening the heels towards the floor without tucking the tail and sort of rounding the back. So if you have tight hamstrings or at the beginning of your practice, I would stay with my heels lifted and my knees bent so that I'm not so much asking my hamstrings to stretch really deeply first off, because you'll ignite the stretch reflex and then you'll be fighting yourself for a bit of your practice. So I would start to settle my heels towards the floor and lengthen my legs long as I got deeper into my practice. So again, fingers spread wide, distributing the weight through all 10 fingers, lifting, igniting the arch of the hand, having those soft elbows to lift and press, stretching back, and then not being here and not being here, but somewhere in the middle, shoulders integrated into the back. Belly lifts away from the floor, and you can feel that little wave from your tail to your crown.
sit bones reach back and wide, and we're pushing the hands and reaching them away from those sit bones while we lengthen the legs and lower the heels towards the floor after a bit of practice and warming up those legs. So this is your downward dog.
Great. I hope that helps. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach me through my website, balancekatemay.com, or you can reach me through an email, judy@balancekatemay.com. Thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you again on the mat soon.